Hey guys, it's Mini Monday Madness again, and we're painting some more cute winter birds. I decided to add some more birds like I did the first ones to have little coordinates to go with the other ones that I did on my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. If you haven't hit the bell notification button, you should, because that way you know when my tutorials are up. And also don't forget to check out my Patreon. I have traceables over there and the one that goes with this. I will show you how to draw it, but I have the traceable if you're a Patreon member. So let's get started. All right, so I'll go over all my supplies again, like I do all the time. So I have two 3-inch square 100% Arches cold pressed paper that I traced my birds on. I'll be using my Princeton 8 and number 4 long round. My paints, I go over them as I use them. And they're always in the description box. Water jars and paper towels. You know, these are based off the two birds that were pretty popular a little while ago for my Mini Monday Madness. So I decided to make coordinates to go with them. So if you want to do a 4 set, you're ready to go. And so if you're a Patreon member, you get the traceable. If not, I can teach you how to draw it pretty simply. And also, you can slow down the YouTube, video that I'm doing, so you can learn how to draw it that way. But like I said, if you're a Patreon member, the link is in the description box and my about page, and you can just download the traceable and just use that. So for the little skater dude, this guy, kind of want to start with a simple shape. Like with birds, you can start with like a circle if you want for the head. But the body is kind of like this whole oblong kind of situation here, right? And then he's going to have those little wings coming out, which is basically curve it and then pull it out here. See, then you got his body. So then we're going to cut into the hat. You're going to just do, well, actually we do the scarf first. So scarf is just going to cut him off like right here and right here. And then you do the little knot here, and you just do these simple lines curving downward for the scarf, right? For the feet, little sticks and little boots. Basically, zoom in, line across, line down the backside, line down, it curves, boom, curve, boom. And then you just do 2 little lines and a little curve for the skate, right? The beak, just a triangle, a little curve on the end here like you do for snowmen. And then you get this knitted cap. It's going to come over the head and down, over the head and down, like that, and we'll have the little pom-pom in the end. And we'll go over the little details as I paint them. It makes no sense to talk about them now. And the pom-pom, and that's the birdie guy who's skating. And then we're gonna, obviously when they're painting, we're going to put little little wisps so he looks like a real bird. For the skiing dude, basically, again, you can look at it in shapes, but it's kind of like start with the circle for the head, and then you're going to just do a curve outward, right, for the body and meat. So the head's here. You're going to put a scarf here, just like a rectangle, a little knot, and then you're just going to curve the line out, meet that line down, curve the line back, curve the line out, like that. And so then we have the wing. So we get this line that curves here, and you just make these little jagged little things. And then the body is here. Again, stick legs. Same thing with the boot. But the ski is a little bit bigger. Like the skate, but bigger and longer. And then just the triangle nose, couple little eyes. See, now we're making a little fuzzy, and then we're going to put a fuzzy pom-pom right here in the middle, and this little loop. Boosh! Sound effects not included. Okay, let's start off. We're going to be working simultaneously back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So the first birds were mostly blue with some red and green, so we're going to keep them the similar color theme, because if you want to coordinate them, it's perfect, and if you don't, just change the colors. Simple as that. So I'm going to actually grab my Princeton number 4. I have a Prussian blue I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Prussian blue. Let's see, and I think that was an ultramarine kind of blue that I mixed. So I'll take the Prussian blue with some magenta to make my ultramarine kind of color tone to match those birds. If you have an ultramarine color, then you're good to go. And how I can just test it, I will just put the birds next to me and I'll say, does that color kind of match? Or we can add more magenta. Does it match? Or is it more blue? See, that's a little purple blue. I'm gonna have to add a little more blue. And see if we get a match. Yep, pretty much that's it. That's how you do it. All right, so we got our blue. I'm getting it really loose here. And I'm just gonna go in and flush in his body. Be careful not to paint over the scarf. See that? And then I'm just gonna go down here. So, let me see. So you see I'm just painting, I kind of want him to have the same kind of belly like this guy did. So, I just kind of painted the outside and inside. I might go back in and grab some water just on my brush and just kind of push it around. Clean up my brush, grab some water, not too much. I'm just gonna push all that paint around. Keeping the blue, but less in the center there. And we got a little blue over here peeking right in between the two scarf. And then we've got his wings. Really loose. I'm just kind of like making them, you see the wings, but you want to loose, kind of like feathers. Again, out here. And we'll start to add some darker tones in a bit. So we've got this loosely. See, I'm just painting this loosely. Just like that. And then his face. Don't do the beak, of course, because that's going to be yellow. If you wanted to paint the beak first, you could have done that. It might be easier. I'm just going to do it now. Painting the face in. See, it's kind of pale blue right now. We're going to add some darker tones in a bit. Okay, so I've got that color tone. Just going to make it a little bit darker. Got the Prussian blue here, ultramarine. Excuse me, mixed with a little magenta to make that ultramarine type of blue just a little bit darker. I always kind of test it out on my paper towel to see how it looks, if I like it or not. So I'm just going in and just tap it, just teeny little taps with my brush. Some of it's still wet, so it's going to blend. If it's not wet, it's going to just look really dark because it's dried. You can go and add some water to it if it's dark. And we're just going to do these little marks right on the wing. Let's see even closer. See, I'm just taking the brush. This has got a nice skinny belly, but a nice great point, and you're just taking it and you just kind of like, look at that. Little lines. Not everywhere, just here and there. Some out here in the bottom. And over here on this wing here. I'm going to pick up some of this paint. It got a little too messy. Okay, just testing that to see if it's dry. While that's drying, I'll go in and add my beak. So basically I'm adding Cadmium Yellow deep. I'm adding a little magenta to that. So it's like an orangey yellow. Actually, I think the first one looks kind of more yellow. Anyway, I'm going to put that beak in. Kind of bright, like the other one. While we're here, we can just put the beak on the second one that we already painted in. You can paint them simultaneously. It's kind of easier to do that way. And the green basically is olive green on both of them. I'm going to do a green scarf here. See, it's a little damp, so you might want to be careful. Now for this guy, I might do a red scarf, green pom-pom. And this guy, green scarf, red hat. Because remember they had red hats? You could change it up a little bit. But I think I'm going to do the green scarf. Or I could do a red scarf on this one too. Or they could both be green and the red hats to coordinate too. Depends on how you want to do it. I'm trying to think which one I want better. Do I want red hats again? Maybe not. Maybe I'll change up to green. And I'll definitely keep the green scarf on this one. And red pom-pom. So I'm just going to fill it in with the light color first. The whole thing. Basically, they're coordinating by the color of the bird. The other elements do not have to coordinate. You don't have to make it green. You don't have to make it red. You can make it any color you want. I'm going to change this up, making his hat green. And actually, I think I'm making it really dark green. Because what I'm going to go and do is use my gouache to make all the little knitted, cute little details. So I'm going to make a nice dark green hat. Just fill the whole color in. Like I said, it doesn't have to so super coordinate the first ones. Just, and I put a red pom-pom. And I'm doing a little pom-pom on the bottom there. There's a caked little piece of watercolor there. Okay. So those are drying. I can't do the red next to this yet. I can kind of finesse the green, but not really. I could do little booties. They could be a color. They don't have to be black or gray or white. So I might make them red. And you know I make my red with the yellow and the magenta. So I mix magenta with the cadmium yellow deep to make my red. Or if you have a red, just use that. I'm going to make his little boots red. Because I can. They don't have to be white or black. Same thing with the skis. You might want to make the skis red and the boots a different color. I think I might make the skis red. We're going to have fun. I don't know if you saw that. See, this happens to me. When I zoom in, I forget to zoom back out. Sorry, guys. I'll have to look in the editing and see if I messed up. Basically, I colored in this cap dark green. So, you're not missing much. Just pick whatever dark green you have, or if you don't want to do dark green, do red. Just testing to see if this is dry. I'm going to do a red pom-pom on him. Just filling this in with red. Red pom-pom. And the red pom-pom on this guy. If it's dry, you can kind of start to work with it next to the green. You don't want it to blend the green into the red. Just kind of making these little fuzzy marks so it looks like a fuzzy pom-pom. See, I'm testing it with my finger to see if it's dry. So yes, now I can go in and fill in this scarf with my red color. The red will be kind of lighter. I'm going to go back in and add my plaid. And it's going to just be simple plaid. Like I did with the other ones, I just used dark green tone on top of them. I'm going to use dark red tone on this. Just filling this in. La 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 la. I hope you guys are enjoying these. Fun little mini Monday. See, the first one had just light green and go over with dark, simple plaid. Not trying to make this really difficult for people who are just starting out. Those of you who have been watching my channel and been doing these for a while, you can go and add in buffalo check or different kinds of checks. See, I'm going to move simultaneously back and forth. We didn't even paint this bird guy in. Let's get some blue on him. So same blue. Just going to go fill this in with the blue. Now this wing is under the scarf, and we have a darker element of the, we want to differentiate between the wing and his body. So there'll be some darker colors in there. I'm just going to flush in the blue first though. Otherwise you can't really tell where the wing starts. And we're just going to go in, put in his little face. Just flushing it in. See, I'm just taking the tip of my brush, making these little marks that go out so it looks like little feathers. And then I'm going to go in and fill this in. And then we can start to add in some deeper blue tones. Just really loose. You want to just like I said, just take the brush and go out like that. So it's a little fuzzy. And then when you go to use a darker color, you just put it sporadically around it so it just looks more natural. Even though, of course, these are like not real birds. It's kind of the illusion of like combination of real / decorative. So we'll have to wait till this blue dries to go back in to add. We can start to add some of the darker blue if you want to bleed a little bit under the scarf for a shadow. And by the pom-pom, so I'm just adding a little bit of that blue. It's going to bleed out. And here. And try and zoom in again. Get the darker blue, and we're going to make these little marks for the tip. See, I'm just like whoosh. So he's like a fuzzy bird. I want him cute and fuzzy. Can try and make the outline now of the wing and put the darker blue under there. And then again, just put some little lines outward to indicate feathers. See, just boop, boop. Mine's a little dry. I'm going to add some water to that. Just like that. Fuzzy lines. The wing too. We'll go in and add some deeper tones, like even still. So just like that. Zoom back out. We're going to go back over here. We're going to make a deeper red. So I'm going to mix my colors again. I'm going to probably add some crimson, a little Prussian blue. Going to get that real deep red tone. Okay, so I get my darker red, and I'm just going to make those crisscrosses. So basically on an angle, just doing 2 lines next to each other, and then crisscross the other way. And this really simple plaid. 2 lines next to each other. Same thing on all the scarf pieces. On this one, I'm doing a knitted one. I'll show you what I mean by that. This one I'm making simpler. And then you can just put the little phrase on the ends. And a little detail. I'm going to take some of that darker red and go under here and around where the knot is. And here. Just paint a little bit of that in there. Just so you see where it's meeting. You know, you're getting that realistic fold over of the scarf. Adding a little shadow on the side here, and where it meets the cap over here. Just like that. For the skate and his legs, you can make that a nice, simple dark gray or black. You can use Paynes gray. Just going to use little lines down here. Just these simple legs. And for the skate, same thing. Just 2 lines in the. Don't want to have to complicate this too much. We're going to go back in and make his face cute again. Get that darker blue and go back in here. See, and just put the little wisps, not everywhere, like on the top here, kind of on the bottom of the wing, kind of on the bottom of his body, a little bit here and there in the body, then again out here in the wing. And then for the face, same thing. Gonna go back in, take those darker blue, and put some under by the beak, down here, there, just like that. And then of course you can grab your black or Paynes gray and make the little eyes. That. We're going to do the gouache at the end, so we'll take care of that cap in the end. I'm going to move over to the other birdie, and we're going to fill in his little scarf and his booties. So the booties, I'm making them green, like the dark scarf, dark hat we had with the other guy. Just using that green that we had. Okay, so we're going to use that same green. And see those little lines that I had drawn here? Put them down here. And we're going to make these little kind of like V's. So just like this. Like leaves. They kind of look like leaves. Little leaves. You can see even closer. See, no leaves. And then it will look like a knitted scarf. We're going to tweak that in a bit too. Just like that. So I'll put some lines down here again. So doing like this little leaf, tiny little leaves. So a leaf, looks like little leaves. I know it's a real tiny, minute detail, but it looks really cute. If you want to just go ahead and do the same stripe, same plaid as the other bird, because this might seem a little too complicated, do that. But there's just like these little leaves connecting to the line. They're getting tiny as they go out here. Now we're just going to tweak that even more. Put a line in between again. I want to get a little bit darker in between those little marks. Or you could just paint it like dark green going like this. You could just be like this. If that's too complicated where the scarf is, just put the lines down and just paint like just like this. Right on top of that light green. Okay? Almost like leaves going down. Yep. Lighting got really bright. So I'm just going to tweak this a bit. It's tiny. I mean, it might have lost a lot of its differentiations that you can see the scarf knitted and put the little phrase out here. But I like it. I mean, if you don't get to see all of it and just see some of it, that's fine with me. Just adds a cute little element. And over here it kind of looks like so tiny you can barely tell, but I personally know it's there, so I don't care. All right, and then we're going to do like take the little black or gray that you have and do the little connecting loop for his headgear there, his little ear muffs. And then for his ski pole, a little black coming down, do a circle and crisscross. All we need to do is little legs. And of course, he needs his eyes. Right? And then here you can tweak with the dark red on the pom-pom of the earmuffs. Just go in and put some of the dark red elements right on the edge here. Same thing we did with the bird. Just these little wispy lines coming out from the pom-pom. Right on, come more on one side than the other. And then we can go back in again with the dark blue under here and make some more wispy lines where his wing is, and under here again. We're just adding in the details at this point. Some more dark blue wisps here. It's pretty much almost done. Just going to put a few more little wisps. Somehow my guy got not as rounded head as I wanted, but I think he's still cute. That kind of happens when I'm painting. I'm going to try and tweak that. Get it? Tweaked. The birdie. There. Looks a little better. So that's this dude. And then this fun cap. So grab some white gouache if you have white gouache. If you don't, if you have some acrylic or something, that would work too. I'm just going to grab, it doesn't have to be expensive gouache, just whatever cheap gouache you have. And we're going to make those fun little knitted lines on it. You can make them colors too. It doesn't have to be white. It can be red and yellow, whatever. But I'm just going to do white, make it simple. So for the sketch, if I can find out what I had. Yes, I kind of drew it all out for you, just like little sketchies. But you can just paint it as you go. So put a little line first. First one, take off all. Sometimes your brush can still have some pigment on it, so you're really going to get sure that it's clean. I noticed that I had a little red in there, and I was going to make that white a little pink. So you really got to clean that brush. I don't want pink, I want white. So I'll make a little line going across first, just to get a feel of where I want the things to go. And these little V's, paint needs to be loose, but not super loose. If you don't have white gouache and you have a gel pen, if I could find my gel pen, you could use that too. That would work just as well. Actually, I think I have one right here in my little drawer, if you hear this noise. Of course it doesn't want to cooperate. I can, forget it. Sorry guys, I'll find it. But there's these white gel pens. I buy Uniball. I like them. They're actually hard to find these days. Seems like everybody's home and doing things. So I got them at Michael's. So just painting those little V's. Gotta get it even looser. It's not cooperating. There we go. Okay. And then do another little line here. Do a line here. You can do little V's going across the top. Boop. Little teeny V's. Right? Do another little line. Could be even a double line. Look how cute that is. And then you could do like V's going up the other way. You could do little snowflakes. That could be really cute. See if I can try and fit a snowflake in here, which is basically a line, crisscross, and then do lines again. And do another line here, and little bees here. Isn't that cute? You see that? Little bees. These teeny little bees line. You can make some of them thicker, so it looks like that funky knitted caps that you see. Isn't that fun? Just adding a little white detail. For this pom-pom too, it needs a little dark red. Just a little, it just looks a little too flat. I'm going to go in and take that dark red. Just going to take the tip of my brush, just put those little lines in here. Just like that. And then we can go back in and see if this got washed out by putting in the shadow. We can just add the dark red lines right back in there. And there we go. Look how cute, right? Like I said, with this particular knitted scarf, if it's too much to do that little thing I did, just do this thing I showed you with painting the green like that. It can be a little bit tricky, and I'm going to go back in and just add an even darker, tweak it around the little kind of leaf elements, I call it, so they kind of stand out more. Take a little of that Prussian blue, just go in there, go around them so it stands out more. Just play around with that. I'll probably tweak it after I get off this little video. That's what I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mini Monday Madness to coordinate the little birds. Look how cute now. See? Now we have all 4 birds. Aren't they cute? Little buddies, little friends, little guys hanging out. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Also, don't forget, if you're a Patreon member, just to download the traceable. And if you haven't been on my Patreon, go check it out. There's a link in the description box in my About page. I do exclusive tutorials on Thursdays that you don't get on YouTube. It's a way to pay back those who are my patrons, because you guys are supporting my channel. I appreciate that. I think it's a pretty fair deal. I don't know too many people doing that many videos like I do on Patreon. So go check it out. And some are more intermediate over there, because I know people are looking for that. And that's that. So take care, guys. And also don't forget to hit the bell notification button to know the tutorial's up. So take care, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.